Why, hello, hi. It is me, it is I, Small Town Didi, your Khadi on the internet, and we're back, darlings. On this, like, what the fuck I gotta say for this long? God. Episode 2, here we go. I'm gonna try to be quick. Kanye links up with Kaylee and Annie, and they're trying to figure out what happened yesterday, what's going on with the group, why is everybody so tense, how they go about fixing things. They talk about the party. They walked away. Oh, Kaylee lets them know that, Swanky felt away about you guys walking away when Bonang came in. And Kanye's so quick to be like, wow, I didn't see her. That's not what happened. We needed to go talk over to the side. Okay, go, whatever. Annie then they tried to get into the Swanky thing with Annie. And Annie's, because Kaylee's like, why didn't you and Swanky exchange pleasantries? And Annie's like, but I was the one sat there, he snubbed me. Did you ask him when I left why it is that he did that? Why are you expecting to get the answers from me? Swanky and Nadia again in a music video outfit, rocking up to see Swanky. Why is Swanky wearing that scarf with that robe in his home? I love it. It's so unnecessary. It's like, yes, sweater. Yes. I don't think you can do wrong by me with the fashions. Yes, I don't think so. She goes over there, and then Swanky's like, how would you feel if I was introducing you to a group of my friends? And it made sense. And they just walked out, as I was like bringing you in. And they're like, oh no, that's not what happened. They keep saying that and nobody believes them, and they don't even seem to believe themselves because they're lying. But anyway, they just seem to be untruthful. I'm sorry about this particular thing. And Nadia's like, oh, I think you're saying that because it's Bonang. That's telling. That's telling of her star power that you would think that, Nadia, right? It's really, really telling. And it's not to say other people in the room haven't done well, but Bonang is a fucking force. She just is, right? Nadia Link, and then he's like, no, it's not necessarily that it's her. It's that's just rude, what you guys did. And I don't know if there's some things you guys need to iron out or things you haven't ironed out. And Nadia's like, no, things aren't ironed out. And then she lets us know in the confessional that they had a dynamic where she felt like that was her big sis, and how things went down. She feels like she was probably more heartbroken than B. I don't look at Bonang and see somebody who knows how to play nice with others. I don't look at Bonang and I see, and she said that in an intro about herself, right? It doesn't make it right, it just makes it who she is. And I think to build a brand where you're that concerned with coming across as so put together, and that is such a concern of yours, I would assume you have a difficult time trusting and bonding with people. I would feel that you dispose of people rather easily the moment them being around is an inconvenience to you, because we've seen her fall out with too many people in industry, right? One too many. Nadia is one. Her and Somizi happened. Her and Lorna, I don't know where her and Pinky Girl are at. And then there's probably other people that we don't know about, right? The breakups she's had, but that's regular. The breakup things, me, you know how Euphonic goes on and on and on about Bonang. I find that to be some bitch moves. Like, I just find Euphonic to be a little bitch. I really do. But in terms of falling out with friends, I felt for Nadia. There's something there where I feel like maybe it's because I relate. I had a dynamic with somebody where it mimicked this, where she was older, I was younger. I've said this in other reviews. And it's like for a while you think you guys are on the same page, but it turns out you guys are on the same page for as long as you're saying things she wants to hear. Because the first time I said something where I questioned her, I think she felt her authority challenged, and then I had to go, right? Because there's an imbalance in that if you're the little sister and she's the big sister, and that's the dynamic of the relationship, And you may not feel it while you're in the relationship, but say something that they don't agree with or do something that they don't agree with, and you will quickly learn that you actually don't know your fucking place. So they will place you over there. And I can believe that she was probably more heartbroken than Bonang. Bonang just seems like she just disposes of people and moves on and makes sure that her brand is intact. She reminds me of Melody Cherie or Melody reminds me of Bonang in this instance from Love and Marriage Huntsville, right? She's another one that the friendships are shaky. The friendships are just shaky and Diamond and Fantana link up in studio and they talk about her body. He plays the video. He keeps talking about, as a black woman, and me looking at her being a dark-skinned black woman, and this man having no appreciation for her outside of this body, and her being okay with it. I am so like, it's disgusting to me. I don't know how to make it sound nice or better or make it come across as if I'm not being judgy. And it's not her, but it's like, you must want people to see you for more than that. But I guess, you know, if you're gonna dress in a particular manner and get the surgeries, this idea that the girls are getting the surgeries for themselves is the first lie. We must first work on the lies that we tell ourselves. You're doing it for the male gaze, for their affection, for their attention. And it's kind of sad, a person like Fantana. I was, just a couple of days ago, somebody was talking about BBLs again, because that's the chat of the day. And or just like, you know, getting your body done, and they played a clip of the it's Nicki Minaj and Joe whoever he did an interview with her, and she was talking about the butt shots, and she's like, you know what, Nicki Minaj talks a lot about how she writes her own rhymes, and I believe her. I'm not a Nicki stan, I'm not even a fan, I don't know most of her catalog, but I'm always for a woman that like puts in the work and wants her talent recognized, especially in such a field where they're always trying to diminish the role. So I understand why Nicki is always talking about how she writes her own rhymes. You know, I get where that comes from. But she's sitting with Joe and she's saying to him, you know, I'm there pretty much like the sister of the clique. Wayne and them are always talking about ass, and I'm realizing that I don't have ass, and I must do something about it. So she went and got like, you know, Backstreet back shots. She says, Nicki said this, right? And she's like, yeah, and you know, I look at her, I look at how much she puts into her pen, like making the bars make sense and all of that. And I'm thinking, this woman, the talent, the wordsmithness of it all, if you would like, I don't care for Nicki's bars that much. But she would not have had this career if she didn't get that bum done. So I look at a girl like Fantana and I'm like, this was probably necessary for her to have the dancehall career that she wants, right? It's like, you gotta do what you gotta do. You want this, you probably have the talent for it, but now it's a whole thing, it's a package. So it's not like I don't understand how we get here. I just would wish that, fine, you wanna look like this for your career, but like surely in your personal life you aren't this thing, this caricature of what we know a curvaceous woman to be, and it's not your entire existence. Like, you don't lead with it, and you aren't receptive to men technically just reducing you to your body, which is what Diamond is constantly doing. It's like he doesn't see her at all. And anyway, yeah, he says nothing about her personality. You know, he says, I like your music, but then he starts talking about the music video and the body. You know, he says nothing about her smile, nothing about her eyes, nothing about her talent, nothing about her spirit, her energy. It's just her body, you guys. I can't, not personally. And then they talk about her body, and then they start having a weird conversation about squirting. Hi, rubbish, man. I was like, first of all, Diamond doesn't even have I'll dick you down energy. Do you know who does that? Fucking Andile. Kanye and Nadia link up, and they're talking about how Annie left for Nigeria. And Kanye's like, it's in the blogs that Tubaba got another girl pregnant as somebody who works at a bank back in Nigeria and stuff. And oh, we see Campire. I watch him on YouTube. He's been I think this is second cameo. He had one on Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. That was a good one, so congratulations to him. We see him talking about how he's like, they do a clip of him from his YouTube and he's like, you know what, like, I'd feel bad for Annie, but she stuck through with like the 5 kids. What's a 6th, right? Swanky sends Annie a voice note because this is now all up in the blogs. Sends Annie a voice note saying, you know what, I must see you, because he sees what's happening and he wants to push this to the side and just make sure that she's okay. And yeah, that's sweet of him, I suppose. And then at the lunch, a person we now learn his name is Lois, and he's from Namibia. Kanye introduces him to Nadia. Yo guys, Nadia didn't have to do this, especially because she doesn't have the star power. She doesn't. The thing that's required to be a superstar, Nadia doesn't have it. I don't give a shit. I don't care. But she, I mean, what's her career been the last couple of years? Who she's dating, right? Okay. Lois arrives, and Kanye introduces him, and then Kanye's like, I want to introduce, because Kanye's is telling Nadia that she's gonna put together a little get together for the clique, so they can, is my phone? So they can sit down and talk about what happened, and everybody squashed their beef, so to speak. So she says to Nadia, she's like, Louis, I'll introduce you again with the introductions. Who the fuck is Louis and who's supposed to spaz out for him? And then she's like, yeah, and then he's like, you'll do the toast. You know, she calls them Tears of Caesar. We call them my pillow because, you know, Bubbles over here by us. And he's like, here's an MCC, and Kanye's like, yeah, but it's not the same. That was a dig at Bonang. I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit. And then Louis like, yeah, same WhatsApp group. And then Louis then says to Nadia, no, I've actually met you. You came to Namibia to shoot something with an artist over there. I was supposed to star with you, but they let me know too late, but they asked if I could do a cameo with you. And she's like, oh, that was a big shoot. There were a lot of extras. Were you one of the extras? And she keeps going on and on and on. But to be honest, on this show, Nadia, you're the extra. You're the least accomplished person in the room. Maybe, I don't know Louis. I don't know Namibia like that. I don't know of their talent and what's going on over there. So maybe they can let me in as to how big Louis is. Because, you know, everybody on the show is trying to make like they are like super big. Andile and who link up? Oh, he's Namibian, he's 30, and he has a luxury brand of sorts. Anyway, Andile links up with Diamond, so they can squash everything that's going on. And then Diamond is like, so you couldn't find love anywhere else. It had to be in my family, like all the women of the world, and you just... I don't like how Diamond talks about Zari. He never uses her name. And your baby daddies do the same to you. It's like the moment you birth kids for them, you are theirs. You're their property. He always says the mother of my kids. He never says Zari. As if that he owns her now, right? It's like she's no longer Zari. She's not a person. She doesn't have desires. She doesn't have chemistry with other men and stuff. Now I understand he's in community with Andile, so he will feel away. But I feel like it's not an Andile issue. I feel like even if another person came in and maybe the person had done better than him, he wouldn't like it. Like, I think he's fine with Zari dating as long as he doesn't rate the dude, because then he feels like there's always a way for him to get back in when he feels like he's done playing the field and he wants his family back. He's trying to maintain that space for himself for when he's done with the world. And he's never going to be done with the world. Nobody's ever done with the game. The game quits you. Nobody quits the game. The game spits you out when those erections start getting weak. And then it just stops like being at attention altogether. And now you want to be like, Zari, you've always been the one. Oh my God. And then, you know, Andy is like, I don't really understand where he's coming from. I'm just going to respect his feelings around it, and I'm going to step away from Zari. I don't believe him. Because the chemistry is just too much. Yo, guys, Adile's always been hard. Guys. Quentin was wearing some weird fucking suits at that dinner. The suit wasn't weird. It's just the suit would look better on not him. Okay. So Fantana links up with Swanky and they talk about Diamond, and she's like, no, that's my G. Swanky's like, your G, that's your G. He just wants to fuck that one. And Fantana's like, and you girls lie to yourselves about this, you know. But certain girls are like this. You know, Kanye is like this. There are certain girls who can just do the transaction thing. She wants to borrow his star power. She wants to do the collaborations. She wants to be seen with him. It's good for her profile, right? And she feels like she can. She's like to Swanky, you know, I'd be cool just smashing and, you know, going about my business as well. I'm just curious, you know, which is fine. And then she talks about how she feels like him and Zari need to stop doing the mother of my kids thing too much. And then she says, I feel like Zari, this is so telling of her person. She feels like Zari doesn't want Diamond to move on. Baby, it's Diamond. Diamond is the disease here. But do you know why she's seeing it like that? A woman who would do all of that to herself, right, to cater to this gaze, does not have the wherewithal to see things from like a woman's lens. Like, she's so male identified. How is she immediately jumping to Zari doesn't want Diamond to move on? Don't nobody want fucking Diamond, girl. Nobody. He's that recipe to the peach cobbler nobody wants. Anyway, Q, Diamond and Andy link up. They have a gym session, and then they talk about how Diamond is telling them about how he linked up with Fantana, and then he starts, oh her body, and Andile is trying to act, and I say act, Andile, you're gonna get dribbled outside, guys. Andile is all like, yeah, but like you can't just approach a woman like that, and Diamond is like, what the fuck is this one saying? Like, because he knows this is what guys do. Like, so why is Andile trying to play it off like, no, you must, like, you know, you can't, that can't be your approach, you know. At least, no, sometimes people do just want to smash Andile, and you've been here, you know what this is, and you're probably still doing it, you know. But anyway, they talk about that and how he just wants to smash, and he's like, oh, so you're not gonna get to know her. Guys, Diamond is literally like, Andile is lying. Like, that's what he said. Because he's like, you can't just do that. And Quentin is like, no, but Andile, sometimes it's fine. Sometimes you really just want to smash. Guys, sometimes people just want to smash. I don't know which people, but, you know, I do know people like this. I do. And then they talk about the 2Baba thing, you know. I think it's Quentin who's like, the blogs are running the story that 2Baba may have had. And then Diamond is saying that he can't believe. What can't you believe, Diamond? What? You can't believe 2Baba had an rubbish. He says he can't believe it. And then they're talking about the get together thing or just squashing beef, and Andile's like, people need to be ready. You can't make people blah 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 blah. Right. Annie, who had, like, you know, skedaddled back home to Nigeria, is now back in South Africa, and she's on the phone lying to herself, saying that it's fake news and they laughed about it and there's no baby on the way, girl. And I wish you would leave us alone. I really wish. She's there on a video call with her husband and she's all like, oh, they're saying we're not talking right now. Look at, she's always trying to like prove and to everybody. And then she says that people are always wishing for like the downfall of her marriage. Girl, like the marriage fell off a while ago. Nobody's wishing for anything. We're wishing for you to wake the fuck up maybe, but you know, you like being Miss Chubaba, and me, I don't blame you, girl. It looks nice. Like, you know, at least you can cry in the Maldives or something. Some of us, they just break our hearts and we have to cry in the same township. Kanye has her, you know, her bubbly and mystery party. What is she calling? The Tears of Caesar stuff, but like a champagne and mystery party. She's giving everybody a mask because she's like, she feels like everybody's wearing a mask and everybody's on bullshit, so they may as well wear a real mask. The introduction of the friend into the does not work in the group. I think I said that. Andy comes in, he says hello to Zari. They just standing there talk. Oh, he says hi, hello ma'am. And then Zari's like, Zari lets us know that she fell for Andy. Like, girl, we all fell for him a while ago. I saw you on that thingy with B. What was it, live or one at the time? Whatever it was, we've all been in love with this man for a while. We don't blame you. We understand what you're going through, sister. And then Annie arrives. I mean, he says hello ma'am and stuff, and then she's like, ma'am, what's that about? And then Andy is like, you know what, I had a chat with Diamond, and she's like, so what, you're not going to talk to me anymore? And then he's like, no, not that I'm not going to talk to you, but like I told him that I would just, you know, I made a promise to him that I wouldn't pursue this and whatever. Which is so odd how another man can curtail your movements. Just sad. Diamond walks into the room and they're having this chat and he feels like, are they not supposed to be chatting at all? Like, because he's like, you know, why is Andile over there chatting with him? He feels everything is disrespectful to him. Everything is disrespectful to him. Annie arrives at the party and tries to play it off cool. Like, tries to act like, ooh, like everything is okay. Like, don't you ask me about the sixth baby? Like, you know. Annie, Kanye's like, you know, what happened? And she just explains that no, she had left, but she's back. She's like, you know, you could have said when you were leaving and just texted me that you're in Nigeria or something, like not just like have us wondering where you are. And then Kanye lies and says that she forgot to extend an invitation to Bonang. No, you just wanted to have the center, like, I mean, the attention all to yourself because you are putting this thing together. And with Bonang in the room, that would be hard. And then Kanye asks everybody to stand, and then Lois misses his cue. He walks in before she makes the introduction. Anyway, Lois is like, she's going on and on, so he can't make the toast and what have you. Lois and Diamond know each other. There's a beef of sorts that they need to squash. I'm not sure what that's about, but there's a little bit of tension there. Then Kanye starts looking at everybody, and she's like, Lois walks in before Kanye then says, Annie, fuck you and Swanky. People are offended by this. I have a mouth on me. I don't know how many times I've said fuck in this video. If my friends are moving mad and like, but they aren't friends. If my friends are moving mad with each other, I would have to say fuck you guys. Like, for real. Like, can you grow the fuck up and like find a way? I understand, but some people don't like being spoken to or act like that. So I can see both sides as to why people were offended in the room. Annie was particularly offended because she feels like, you know, I'm so much older. They two other people in this room that are younger but also new to the group, and this is how you're speaking to us. And Annie is like, I feel like she's setting the tone and the wrong tone for how people in the group can address each other, and I don't appreciate that. And I can see where they're coming from with that. And Andy is like, are you guys comfortable with, you know, like he gets mad. He's like, are you guys comfortable with Kanye speaking to us like this? Like, you know, I do not like to be like really talked at like that. And I think that's how the scene ends, because that's where my scene ends. The episodes are short, they end very abruptly. When the new episode comes in, it just feels like we're building off the last one. I hate that they've uploaded everything the way they have. This review was far too long. I'm long-winded, what can I say? I'm like Kanye. That's why I fuck with her. You shouldn't walk away from this thinking I don't fuck with Kanye. I fuck with Kanye. She's just not Bonang, and she knows it. And when Bonang is not around, she gets to cosplay the stardom and the star power of a Bonang. But when the real shit arrives in the room, the fugazi kind of shows, you know. Anyway, mwah, bye, yala.